Part of the mandate of the collection is that it is shared with Albertans. And it's a tremendous opportunity for our artists to be recognized here at home and abroad, because many of them end up becoming internationally known.
Sharing artwork in the communities is super important for the growth of the community and expanding their mindset on what artwork is and what it can be. And then also too, sharing the artwork and sharing the knowledge behind the artworks.
Brenda Campbell was an amazingly prolific artist, and we didn't know that.
We're trying to bring the art to the community, and we try to do that not only through our placement program, our extended loan program. We've loaned to every public institution within this province, as well as many institutions across Canada and abroad.
The art placement program was intended as a vehicle for the AFA collection to be primarily displayed inside various government locations. As the collection has grown, we've branched out to engage the nonprofit sector. We're committed to loans across various levels of publicly accessible and nonprofit locations.
The AFA has been in the business of collecting and preserving and sharing the collection.
When you can get them to stop and to look and to experience, to participate in some of the rich stories that we have to share about these works, they often see these works in a different light and become really excited. And it's worth saying that, you know, there's a fabulous collection, but there's also a fabulous collection of professionals who manage that collection and make it accessible and, and work with curators around the country. Prairie Interlace was curated during COVID, the worst possible time to curate an exhibition. We couldn't go to the AFA and actually visit the space in person. I appreciate the fact that, their collection is all online. To have collections accessible and searchable online, that is tremendous.
Through the website, you can search specific artworks and objects. You can look at the different mediums in the collection. So we have everything from painting, photography, drawing, glass, fiber, sculpture works. You can also create your own collection and tag works and then save them.
TREX stands for Traveling Exhibition Program, and we curate shows from artists based in the province and from the Alberta Foundation for the Arts Collection. And they go into crates and then they get shipped out to all kinds of venues, non-traditional venues in the province. So like high schools, libraries, middle schools, senior centers. We produce catalogs with all of our exhibitions. They also include lesson plans. So there's often like beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and educators can use those lesson plans.
So right behind me here, you can see we have some different art. And as the day goes on, we're gonna go throughout the library and check out some different pieces.
We train the host venues in setting up the exhibitions. We go there for visiting artist programming. While the exhibit is on display, we bring the artist in to then conduct a workshop with the community or the students.
I've been involved with TREX for quite a long time. A couple of years ago, I did Permanence of Ink, which was really neat because it was like tattoo artists and abstract artists who did really neat things with ink. I did a couple birds in there. I do a lot of Sumi Ink drawings. We don't have like big centers as much to show off our art, so it's really good for us to be able to send our art around and get people to see it and appreciate it. One of like the best things about TREX that I find is just being able to showcase the different cultures and the different traditions and beliefs and styles of all the different people that are in Alberta.
For example, an artist that I contracted for a traveling exhibition, he presented a fascinating expose of a part of the world that most people will never see. Through that sharing, we learn about concepts, issues that may be unfamiliar to us, may not be impacting us at the very instant, but are still a part of our larger world.
The TREX program, every year we curate at least one exhibition from the collection. And then beyond that, we do either 2 or 3 additional exhibitions that can occasionally request work from the AFA collection, but we also have the opportunity to curate exhibitions from just general Alberta artists that may not be represented in the Alberta Foundation for the Arts collection.
A few years back, I did an exhibition entitled The Male Gaze. And in that exhibition, I contracted 3 artists from Edmonton who, in their work and their past work, have looked at issues around masculinity. So basically, the question of that exhibition was, what is a man? What makes a man a man? And I invited the artists to share their thoughts through their artwork.
One of the exhibitions that I curated with an artist named Rayan Kichi Chung, and she has explored archive photography and capturing the stories of various early Chinese Canadian immigrants and the early development of the railway and their involvement in that. And that particular exhibition is going to travel for 2 years to schools and libraries, and those different schools and libraries are going to have an opportunity to learn about those stories and integrate them with their social studies curriculum.
Why share the visual arts? Because we want to support the artists that are in this province. We want to encourage their practices. We want them to be recognized by other people.
It's valuable to share it and become educated in it. Artists as well have been practicing in Alberta since the late 1700s. And then with Indigenous people, centuries, millennia before that. So this is part of our heritage as human beings.
We want our audiences to have moments of surprise and delight and excitement in their days. We want people in the province to be able to develop their knowledge of the visual arts and to explore their own creativity.
We all have a creativity, and I would want to raise people's awareness and freedom to go and explore, go and find other horizons.
Sharing that passion for these works with the public, we're particularly interested in inspiring the next generation, not just of makers, but also inspiring a new generation to really look beyond and to dig deep into the rich history across the prairies.
It informs us of the world around us, of our relationships to each other, and possibilities for the future.